Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect, Big King Sadiq, hollering at you one more again. All right. Thank you all once again, right, for checking me out. I love you all, certainly. Hope that you are having a beautiful start to your day as I am. Out in nature, certainly beautiful as can be, right? Um, yeah, man. Another beautiful day that I plan to enjoy to the fullest. So, this is a extremely important video, right? Um, we call this "Can You Handle the Truth in Spiritual Maturity?" All right. So, what we're going to be doing is identifying and talking about the grand process, right? Um, or grand design, right? It is full of so many beautiful processes. All right. Um, so first of all, this is going to call for us all to lean on, to rely on um, all of our accessible tools and disciplines, right? Uh, Whatever you have within you in terms of spirituality, whatever you can bring to the table for yourself in terms of um, your scientific acumen, right? Um, where you are on physics and metaphysics and quantum sciences and disciplines like quantum mechanics and quantum biology, ufology, archaeology, astrology, right? Bring it all to the table, okay? Um, because it's only going to help us to grasp the scope of the grand design with a lot more clarity and to understand all these systems, right? Um, the grand system even, and all the processes within it. So the first thing that we, without doubt, must cognize, right, before we move any further and truly understand at our core, right, is that we are, and all things are energy of our Creator, right? There is nothing outside of the creative source. Whatever you want to call your higher power, whatever you would name or term or um, whatever you feel you need to ascribe to your higher power, to the source of all creation and of existence, right? Of everything that ever was, does, and ever shall exist, right? That's what I'm referring to, right? Um, and it's very important, I feel, to get out of any sort of box that would be making our understanding of our creative source anything lesser than that. The creator and sustainer of everything that was, that does, and that ever shall exist, right? Um, there is nothing that exists outside of the creator, right? All that you see is some level of expression of our creator's energy, right? I mean, the trees, the grass, the rocks, things that we fashion from the materials of this planet, technology, the ways that our intelligence is expressed in our civilization and society. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Everything is of our Creator's energy. Period. And all the people on this planet, um, the billions of people on this planet, I believe we're approaching 8 billion now, are all truly intricate and beautiful expressions of our Creator's energy. It's what you are. It's what everything is. And we are, as sentient beings, one of the highest levels of creation, right? Our consciousness, our level of consciousness and self-awareness, right? And awareness of all that is. It's what sort of qualifies us for the ascension process. So now we'll start to get into the processes. But first understand that we all are all um, expressions of the Creator's energy, right? All right. So, that goes for everything, not only on this planet, but on any other planet, right? Which we can certainly lend a little bit of thought to that. It seems apropos given the recent U.S. intelligence agency uh, disclosure about, you know, I believe they call it unidentified aerial phenomenon. We've for years been calling them UFOs, um, unidentified flying objects, or the gist of all that whole genre is that we're referring to species that may not be terrestrial in nature, meaning they're not of this planet. And they would be visiting us from some other planet, solar system, galaxy, um, using what we would consider extremely advanced technology. All right. So what I said previously goes for them as well. They are the Creator's energy, the same way you are. They're just a creation the same way you are, an expression the same way you are, right? Um, their civilizations, even if they are very much older than ours, right, have gone through the same process of spiritual maturation that we go through, right? Folks, the whole purpose for incarnating into a corporeal, physical existence is for the spiritual energy, right, to have an opportunity to experience vulnerability, insecurities, to have all these different experiences that we go through from cradle to the grave in all the different ways that we react to it. So unpredictably, right? Predictably in some ways, but when you step back and look at the incredible enormity of our lifetimes as a wealth of experiences, right? a day in a person's life truly is a bevy of experiences from the moment you wake up to the moment you rest your head. You've had an incredible amount of experiences. Some you may consider mundane and just, oh, well, this happens every day, no big deal. Still an experience that you had, right? Every waking moment provides an experience. And then others may be more profound, right? And may really impact you in your day, right? Um, these are important for us to understand as fundamental concepts, right? Because again, this rings true all throughout existence, no matter where you are and on what planet, solar system, galaxy, universe, etc. Dimensional state. We exist and we live in different planes of existence for the purpose of having those experiences and maturing our incredibly vast spirit accordingly to having gone through those experiences, right? Spiritual maturity is truly the name of the game, right? So as I stated, those other species or civilizations, and there are, you know, many other, many, many other civilizations, right? Throughout the cosmos, whether we're talking about other planets, solar systems, galaxies, universes, etc. Dimensions, right? Life is abundant. Be clear on that, folks. And it doesn't matter how technical or scientific you want to get with it. Run the numbers, run the probability numbers. It cannot be refuted, right? Come on now. Doesn't matter, again, what lens you look at it through or what discipline you utilize in order to analyze this, comes down to the same thing, right? Life is abundant, and there is a process, an intelligence in existence itself, right? That is our Creator's mind. It's what orchestrates existence. All right. And that is what you are made of, right? That is what is inside of your physical, corporeal vessel. The Creator's energy. Literally. Period. Right? Certainly not the entirety of our Creator's energy, because, again, our Creator's energy is everywhere and in everything. But that is what fills you, your Creator's energy. You need not any intercessor or anything in between you and your creative source, because your creative source is literally you. There's nothing that exists outside of the Creator, right? And if your God or your higher power or your whatever you want to call it is smaller than that, then perhaps you need to examine your concept of what the Creator is. Again, I refer to the creator and sustainer of everything that ever was, that does, or ever shall exist, period. Without exception. So there is nothing that exists outside of the Creator. This is all the Creator's energy. You are your Creator's energy. Directly. All right? So getting back to other species that undoubtedly exist in the vastness of the cosmos, right? They go through spiritual maturity in the same way, because again, the purpose of physical incarnation into some corporeal vessel, no matter what the basis is of that vessel, right? Whether you're a carbon-based vessel, or silica, or some other form, right? The purpose of that incarnation is for the collage of experiences that that particular vessel will have in a lifetime. Whatever the span of that creature's or that being's lifetime is, the wealth of all of that goes toward the spiritual maturity of the entity within the vessel. So you see, the vessel serves a beautiful and divine purpose. But what it's really all about, what the name of the game is, what the big show is all about, is the you inside of you. Huh? Feel me on that. The energetic expression of your creator's energy within you, what makes you an animated, sentient being. Right? That is your creator's essence. And that's what this is all about. Use your imagination, folks. Let it flower a little bit. If we're all, think of us all in a state without vessels, okay? Think about your body forget about your body for a moment. We're going to leave our physical bodies out of this. Your consciousness, you know you're aware, you know you have a conscious. You know you can shut your mouth and you still can be thinking thoughts in your mind, right? In your head. Do you really think you have like little speakers inside of your head? I think KRS-One brought that up once. No, that's you. That's your consciousness. That's your awareness, right? All right. So all of our awareness, all of our consciousness, if you want to say all of our spirits, all of our souls, whatever you're comfortable with, it's all the creator's energy. Does not experience any weakness whatsoever. Spirit does not know physical hunger. Spirit doesn't get tired and need to lay down and take a nap. Spirit doesn't, get thirsty in the desert and die of, dehydration. Spirit doesn't stand next to the lion in the jungle and feel fear of getting eaten. Right? Not to even speak ill of my lion brethren in any way. But you get the point. Your spirit does not feel vulnerability or any insecurity, right? The creator's energy. So the only way you can mature is to subject yourself, your energy, to what it is to be a physical incarnate being that does have those experiences. Spirit doesn't know what it is to feel lonely, because we all are one on the other side of the veil, folk. It's all one energy. And all that consciousness is part of one beautiful grand conscience. So how could you, as your consciousness, learn the profundity, how profound it is to go through deep depression or loneliness or some soul tasking phase of your life, and then mature your way up through and out of it, and how that flowers and blossoms you as an individual. The only way spirit can have that is through incorporating or incarnating into a corporeal, physical vessel. And that is the case throughout existence. Doesn't matter where you're at, or what you look like, or what you're made of. Okay? So let's get that basic understanding established. Now, these other civilizations, whatever they look like, whatever they are, wherever they exist, have all had to go through, let's say, for example, a civilization that is 100 million years ahead of us, right? In terms of how long they've been sentient beings. All right. On their planet of origin. All right. They went through all the phases in their society that we have had to go through in the maturation of our civilization. They went through the wars, some form of inequity, like all the different isms we have, the racism, the sexism, etc., etc. They've gone through all of that. And they've had to mature through all of that to get to a point where they don't have wars anymore, and they don't view harming one another or killing one another as a solution, right? Because it's not. It's not. When you harm anything, particularly another individual, another vessel, all you're doing is interrupting that spirit's opportunity to continue on through the spiritual maturation process. And given the fact that that spirit is a part of the same energy that you are, and is in fact a part of you, you ain't doing nothing but harming yourself. Huh? You're harming yourself. Anytime you commit violence against anybody or anything else, you are harming yourself. Because the energy that animates that thing, that makes it a living, sentient being, is the same energy that's in you. Not the same kind of energy, not the same type of energy, not just that the energy comes from the same origin, but it is literally the same energy as the energy that flows within you. We are all one. Facts. You want to debate? You debate all you want. I'm not going to debate with you, but I'm going to open you up to go and check for yourself using any of those disciplines that I spoke of in the beginning of this video. And you should use all of them so that you know it for yourself, so that you can cognize and understand it yourself. Don't take my word for anything. Who am I? But you. We are all one, folks. Listen. So, the fact that we understand that those other civilizations, wherever they are, who and whatever they are, have gone through the same spiritual maturation process, right? And this advanced or elder civilization that we're hypothetically speaking of has seen the same things in their societies or their civilizations maturation that we have. And 2020, quite honestly, the past decade has been incredibly eye-opening for all of us, right, on this planet. They've gone through that same type of a thing when they were approaching their opportunity to ascend to the next stage of their evolution, as we are. All right. They went through, some very personal growth the same way we did, right? And when I say personal, I mean things that are personal to us and deeply and profoundly affecting us. Concepts like betrayal, right? Like being hurt in so many different ways that we hurt each other in romantic relationships. Being hurt so many ways that we hurt and let each other down in our own family lives, right? Being hurt and let down by society itself. All these things, these pains, refer back to some of my earlier videos, are just lessons. And most of the more painful ones are the greater and more profound lessons that we need to learn in that process of spiritual maturation. So they went through these same things. There were dark forces on their planet acting against them the same way there are here, right? We need to understand, folks, that, again, everything is what? Everything is our Creator's energy. Not some things. Everything. Light and dark. Huh? Everything is of our Creator's energy. We need to understand also, before we go any further, the truth is that quote unquote evil, good and evil, those concepts are human concepts. In reality, you only have energy as it exists in different states. You have low energy, you have higher energy. And when I say low and high, I'm referring to its vibrational frequency. There are attributes that go along with low energy that we would term as evil, right? There are attributes that go along with higher vibrational frequency resonant states that we would term as good or beneficent. But really, those concepts are what we've shaped them to be, right? But as I stated, on all these, it's all the same process. It just happens over and over again, is what I'm getting to. Whether it's on the hypothetical planet we're referring to or our planet, we go through these bouts with dark forces or lower energies on the planets as part of our spiritual maturation. Guess what? At some point, you were just like that. You were those lower forms of energy. There are low energy, lower vibrational frequency, energetic life forms that exist in our ionosphere. They should have talked about a whole lot more on the disclosure, but they want to string you out for decades, and Big King Sadiq go talk to you and kick it up all right now for those who want it. There are energetic life forms that exist throughout this planet. There's energetic life forms that are likely standing right beside you that you are not able to perceive. It is scientific fact that the two eyes on the front of your head are able to perceive only a very, very small percentage of what existence truly is on an energetic level. So best believe that there's a whole lot more going on around you than what you are able to see with your two eyes, or hear with your ears, or smell with your nose, or, feel along your skin. There's a whole lot more there. All right? All of it is part of this beautiful, grand, divine process and system. This system full of many processes, like this ascension process that I've been referring to. So, these, this hypothetical species has gone through those same tugs of war, sort of, right, between light and dark forces in their evolutionary process. And I said that you were once those dark forces. Think of it. You start out at a low vibrational frequency and you serve a certain purpose. Your purpose, when you are at that low frequency, and this is early on in your sort of expression as you separate away from source. You're not really separating away from source. You're individualizing, expressing from source. As that first begins to happen, you're low vibrational frequency energy. You're a little cranky, huh? Like a baby just being born into this world. You're a little cranky. You're low vibing still. You just came into existence. Who can blame you? Right? You're feeling your way, trying to learn what existence itself is all about. You're becoming sentient, self-aware. What is this all about? You low vibing. It's all right. You liable to act out in some low vibrational frequency ways. Guess what, folks? If we were talking about that hypothetical planet, on that hypothetical planet, those energies, those low vibrational frequency energies,